Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashraf al-anbiya'i wal mursaleen, amma ba'du. Then we continue in our reading from Umdat al-Ahkam, Kitab al-Siyam. We've reached the hadith which was entitled here, Hukm Jima'i Sa'im, the ruling, the hukm of jima', of sexual intercourse of the fasting person or by the fasting person, fi, during Nahar Ramadan, the daytime, Nahar, as opposed to al-layl, Nahar Ramadan, in the daytime of Ramadan. So the ruling of having sexual intercourse by the one who's fasting in the daytime of Ramadan, al-Hadith al-Sadis wa Thamanun Ba'd al-Miya, the 186th hadith. Fadda.
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال: بينما نحن جلوس عند النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا جاءه رجل فقال: يا رسول الله هلكت. قال: ما أهلكك؟ قال: وقعت على امرأتي وأنا صائم. وفي رواية: أصبت أهلي في رمضان. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: هل تجد رقبة تعتقها؟ قال: لا. قال: فهل تستطيع أن تصوم شهرين متتابعين؟ فقال: لا. قال: فهل تجد إطعام 60 مسكينا؟ قال: لا. فقال: فمكث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. فبينا نحن على ذلك أتي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بعرق فيه تمر، والعرق المكتل. قال: أين السائل؟ قال: أنا. قال: خذ هذا فتصدق به. فقال الرجل: على أفقر مني يا رسول الله؟ فوالله ما بين لابتيها يريد الحرتين أهل بيت أفقر من أهل بيتي. فضحك رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حتى بدت أنيابه، ثم قال: أطعمه أهلك.
نعم. طيب. عن ثوري أبو هريرة رضي الله عنه قال: بينما نحن جلوس عند النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
And Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, between us sitting with the Prophet.
Bainama means one day or one time, right? Bainama nahnu, when, right? When, one day, one time, same thing. All that's when is probably more exact. بينما نحن جلوس عند النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
When a man came and said, O Messenger of Allah, halaktu, I've destroyed myself.
Yeah. The man came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or a man came to him. Either ja'ahu rajulun, when a man came to him, faqala ya Rasulullah halaktu, right? I destroyed myself. Qala,
and he said, ma ahlaka. What did you destroy?
Said, or what destroyed you, really? Ma ahlakaka.
No, ahlakaka. What destroyed you? He said, waqa'tu ala amrati. Waqa'tu, basically I had sexual intercourse.
Waqa'tu. Waqa'a is to fall. Waqa'tu ala imra'ati. I fell upon my wife. It's a way to say it, right? It's a way to say it in a polite way. I fell upon my wife. Wa ana sa'im.
And I am fasting.
No.
And in And in another narration,
نعم وفي رواية another narration
أهلي في رمضان, I entered upon my wife in Ramadan, in the month of Ramadan.
أصبت meaning I أصاب يصيب meaning like asaba could mean to like hit the point, right? So it's basically the same meaning. Difficult to translate exactly.
Yeah.
Word difficult to translate word for word without having like a context.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I entered.
Yeah, it's fine.
I entered upon.
Asabtu ahli fi Ramadan.
And then the Prophet ﷺ said, the Messenger of Allah said, have you
Wajada yajidu, to find, right? Hal tajidu raqabatan. Do you find a raqaba? Tu'tiquha. Raqaba is what? Raqaba. Fakku raqaba. Right? You know Surah Al-Balad, right? Right. To free a slave. Do you find a slave? A raqaba. A raqab this is also your neck. Right? So when you talk about freeing a slave, you're talking about freeing their neck. Because when you free someone's neck, you free all of them. Right? Basically. And a slave has a chain around their neck. That's how you drag them. That's how you lead them and take them somewhere like this, right? So do you هل تجد رقبة تعتقها? Do you find a slave that you can free? قال لا.
He said no. And are you able to fast a whole 2 months متتابعين without break?
متتابعين consecutively. هل تستطيع أن تصوم شهرين متتابعين? Are you able to fast 2 consecutive months?
He said no.
No.
He said, فهل تجد are you able to feed 60 poor people?
نعم. فهل تجد إطعام 60 مسكينة? Basically, do you find the food for 60 poor people, or are you able to feed 60 poor people? قال لا.
He said no. Then فما كثر something the Prophet did.
فمكث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Yes, the Nabi is the fa'il. Makatha means to wait, to like the same as labitha in Surah Al-Kahf, right? Makatha, to wait. So we wait to hang around, to stay around, right? Not to wait like I'm waiting on somebody, but just to hang around, to be around.
And so to be around the Prophet ﷺ,
The Prophet ﷺ waited, or he sat around for Makatha. He remained, right? Labithu fil kaf. They remained in the cave, right? So he remained. The Prophet ﷺ remained.
and then
فَبَيْنَ نَحْنُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ.
And then we were there with the Prophet ﷺ.
فَنَحْنُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ. We're there on that, meaning we're there waiting, just hanging around, right? فَبَيْنَ meaning when, basically, I guess similar to بَيْنَمَا. فَبَيْنَ نَحْنُ عَلَى ذَلِكَ. And then when we were like that, just sitting around, right? أُوتِيَ النَّبِيُّ صلى الله عليه وسلم بِأَرَقٍ فِيهِ تَمْرٍ.
They came to the Prophet ﷺ, a plate of dates.
He goes to explain, well, arqa al-miktal. Al-miktal is the explanation of the word araq, for those who don't know, right? That's why I brought it here. Bi araqin, a miktal is a big basket, a large basket. So there came to the Prophet ﷺ a large basket, fihi tamr, and it was dates. Qala ayna sa'il.
And then he asked, where's the questioner?
Where's the questioner? The one who came and said, Haraktu, right? Where's that person at, right?
Okay. He said, me.
The man stood up and said, me, here I am, right?
And he said, take this, take this and give in charity.
خذ هذا, take this, فتصدق بي, and give charity with it.
And then the man said, to from the poor people.
Afqar, like akbar. You have something kabir and you have something akbar. You have something faqir, you have something afqar.
The most poor.
Upon poorer than me,
Yeah.
ala afqara minni ya Rasulullah. Am I supposed to give it to someone poorer than me? Right? فَوَاللَّهِ مَا بَيْنَ لَبَتَيْهَا. Right? And here the ha here is referring to Medina. Right? Between his two labatay. Yuridu al-harratain. He means by this al-harratain. Al-harra is a lava patch. So between the two lava patches, and at that time Medina on one side and the other were lava patches. Like that's kind of like demarked the city lines, kind of. You see what I'm saying? Ma baina labatayha, o baina harratain. There's nothing between these two lava patches. Ahlu baytin. There's not a people of a house. Afqaru min ahli bayti. Poorer than my family. SubhanAllah. Poorer than my family. There's no family between these two areas of the city poorer than us. Ala afqara minni. You want me to give charity to someone poorer than me? Wallahi, there's no one poorer than me. Right? How would I give charity to someone who's richer than me? In other words, right? No, because there's no one poorer than me. Right? فَضَحِكَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم.
And the Prophet smiled or laughed.
He laughed, right?
Until badat until anaya is, I'm guessing his
Anyabahu.
Anyabahu, his teeth could be seen.
Yeah. Anyabahu was canine teeth, but yeah.
Badat is
Badat from bada,
to
ba dal ya, but because of the ta here, because anyab is feminine, right? Then the ya is dropped. But bada is to appear. Not bada'a to begin with a hamza, but bada with an alif maksura. Bada'a with an alif and a hamza on top of it. This is to, yeah. I'm just saying that bada'a with a alif, bada'a yabda'u, then this is beginner. Bada without the hamza, then this is to appear. Hatta badat anyabuhu, until his canine teeth appeared. Thumma qal.
Then said, after him, feed your family. Feed your family.
Feed your family. Feed at'imhu. Feed your family it. Or feed it to your family. Right? من فوائد وأحكام الحديث.
إذن الإثم في جماع الصائم في نهار رمضان. إذن الإثم.
عظيم. Something عظيم.
Good.
إذن, like something itself is عظيم, right? It's great, tremendous. إذن is showing like the tremendousness or the greatness of the itham. What's itham? تعاون على البر والتقوى ولا تعاون على الإثم والعدوان. Sins, right? The tremendousness or the greatness of the sin.
In collecting.
في جماع. Sexual intercourse, right? في جماع. They're gathering together though, right? في جماع الصائم, for sexual intercourse by the fasting person. في نهار رمضان.
During the days of Ramadan.
No. During the daytime of Ramadan. Shows the greatness of it. How great? You got to free a slave, right? Or fast 2 consecutive months or feed 60 poor people, right? ثانيا
وجوب أغلب الكفارات في جماع الصائم في نهار رمضان. The obligation of giving kafara.
أغلظ is like afqar, something ghalid. Something ghalid is heavy, right? Ghalid is heavy, or harsh, or difficult, right? Aghlad al kafarat. So the heaviest, most difficult, right? The most burdensome, or whatever, however you want to translate it, right? Of the kafarat. Fi jima'a sa'im, fi nahar Ramadan. Meaning, you don't have a choice. What's easier today? Freeing a slave, fasting 2 consecutive months, or feeding 64 people? Feeding 64 people. That's the easiest. But you don't have that choice. Like, for instance, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to make an oath, and then I don't do it, then I have a choice. I can do this or this or this. Here you don't have a choice. You must try to find a slave to free. And how much is it? I don't have that much. Okay. Not in fast 60 days, 2 months. Okay. I can't do that. I'm not able. I wasn't able to fast 1 month. I'm going to fast 2 months. You see what I'm saying? I'm just not able to. Well, then I can feed 64. But you have to take from the order, or the tartib, which he's going to talk about here, the tartib of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the kafarat ala tartib, and a kafaratihi ala tartib, that the expiation, or its expiation, meaning jima' as-sa'im fi nahar Ramadan, its expiation is ala tartib, in order. Rattaba yuratibu tartib, right? In order. Hal ghurfatuk murattaba, is your room in order? Is it placed nicely, right? Awalan itqu raqaba, freeing a slave. Thaniyan fa in lam yajid, if you don't find a slave to free, or you don't have the money, fa siyamu shahrayn mutatabi'ain, then fasting 2 consecutive months. Thalithan fa in lam yastati' fa it'amu 60 miskina. If you're not able to do that, then fasting are feeding 60 poor people, right? In order. It's the tartib, and you have to choose the hardest one first. Hardest one is feeding a slave. How much does feeding a slave cost? How much does feeding 60 poor people cost?
Yeah.
Just say $600. You think a slave $600?
No.
I don't think so. Allahu Alam. You know what I mean? Probably way more than that. You know, and feeding 60 poor people, fasting 2 consecutive months, which is harder? Giving $600 away, or fasting 2 months? Man, you know? Yeah. Questions?
There's a lot of questions about this. Yeah, I think you answered a lot of them. But the other question is it binding up with the woman to?
Most of the scholars say if she did it willingly, then she has to. Sheikh Al-Albani says no. He says even if she's the one who caused it, even if she's the one who initiated it, she doesn't have to, because everybody wants to do something. Like, I want to eat and drink in Ramadan. I want to, you know what I mean? But I don't. You see what I'm saying? You want to eat and drink. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I wish it was Maghrib already. Everybody wants to do something, but they don't. So she can't do it on her own. You see what I'm saying? She can only do it if he's willing. You see what I'm saying? So if he does it, then it's on him. Strange, huh? MashaAllah. Beautiful. هذا والله تعالى أعلم وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
And I want men and women to be equal.